What's up guys, Causeway Giant here and welcome to another review. Today, in celebration of the Death Star DLC that has been released to Star Wars Battlefront that I've played way too much of, we are going to be reviewing the Micro Machines playset of the Death Star. So yeah guys, this is one of the collectibles that I own that I actually can't remember where I got it. It's just kind of always been here. So it's not perfectly complete, but it's reasonably good. So apologies for that if you're expecting a full, like, exact replica of what it's supposed to be like. You know, it's pretty good. The actual Death Star itself is perfect, but just, you know, some of the little accessories I've lost over the years, but you know, we can live with it, can't we? I'm pretty sure this was released in the 90s, so I don't think it's available in the stores anymore, but I think you can get it on eBay for about a complete one. I think goes for about £40. I'm not entirely sure though, I haven't checked in a while. Yeah, anyway, let's get into the review here. So as you can see guys, this is meant to be the Death Star from A New Hope as opposed to the one from Return of the Jedi that is, like, you know, only half built. Personally, I prefer this one because it just kind of feels more like what the Death Star should be like, and it's more iconic, you know, because it's from the original Star Wars. So I'll just bring it a little bit closer here so we can have a little look at some of the details here. You can see all these little sculpting details with the paint. It's supposed to be like the kind of large metal panels that are on the Death Star. There's quite a lot of them, and they're kind of random, which I like. It's because, you know, it's such a massive thing, so they're not going to get it exactly perfect. So it kind of looks better, you know, not being perfectly symmetrical. But the paint is really clean on this, you know, considering it's from like the 90s. It's really good. It's actually better than some of the modern day Funko Pop vinyls, like the BB-8 one that I reviewed recently. It's really good, the paint. All along the bottom here, you can see there's loads and loads of just random panels. Obviously, it's not going to be an exact, like, it's not an exact ball because it's a playset, you know, so it's got all these little grooves here where it opens up. And then the actual base here, I'll just move it down. It's, you know, it's sitting on a little kind of like pedestal thing here, and it's bulges out of the back here. It's got a little Star Wars logo there. It's a nice base, you know. It's good the way it kind of goes. You know, it's the same color with the Death Star, and it actually has these little kind of sculpting details as well that kind of make it look like it's part of the Death Star, which is a nice touch. Onto the middle part of the Death Star, then you can see there is really amazing details here of all the little compartments and stuff, little white squares and stuff. I think those are supposed to be the little hangars, you know, because like in A New Hope when the Millennium Falcon got sucked in by a tractor beam into one of those, I think that those are supposed to be hangars or just lights or something. But they're really cool. It looks exactly like the Death Star, like how the Death Star looks in A New Hope. And then all around the side it's just like that, you know, loads of really nice little sculpting details and paint details. It's really nice. Onto the top part of the Death Star, then you can see that this is the infamous super laser dish where it fires out that awesome super cool green laser that blows up planets. And again, you know, the detail on this is really good. It's kind of got a nice little groovy effect. All of the actual panels on this Death Star model here have it, but you can't really, you know, it's far clearer on the on this part of it. It kind of makes it look not weathered, but you know, it adds a little bit more texture to the model, which I think is quite cool. And again, it's got more of these little sculpted squares on it, which look really good. Unfortunately, my Death Star, because it's a little bit older, you know, this bit here is starting to kind of bulge out a little bit more. You can kind of notice it at the top, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, you can kind of expect that from something that is this old. It's not really, you know, it's only really on this kind of front bit here, like you can see along here. It's kind of, oops, sorry, not the camera there. You can see it's very slight there, you know, so I didn't really notice it, but it's just a small thing. It's not really a complaint because there's not really a whole lot they can do about it, but you know, whatever. And then all along the side there's more of these little panels. They kind of build up more than at the bottom, you know. There's more of the dark grey. If I just lift it up here, you can see there's far less of the dark grey panels here on the bottom than there is at the top. There's, you know, they're far more frequent. They kind of continue all the way up here, lots of various panels, and then there's a little hatch that opens up here. You just pull that little thing there and that opens up, and there's a little bit of, I'll just kind of lift that up there so you can see there's a little sticker that you have to stick on to them there. I don't really generally like stickers because they can kind of, you know, over time they come off. This one is in the inside though, so it's kind of more protected. But, and as well, you can see I didn't really get it perfect there. It's kind of a bit wonky, so I prefer printed ones than stickers generally, but it's okay here. And you can see there's more sculpting detail in there, and then there's a little thing that you can pull out here Oh, my goodness, it's stuck. There we go. Okay, and then this, you can put one of the little Micro Machines ships on here. This is my TIE Advance, well, what's left of it anyway. You can see that this is after Darth Vader got attacked by the Millennium Falcon. His wings have come off. And ironically, I had a die-cast TIE Advance as well, and the same thing happened. Both of the wings fell off, but luckily I found the wings for that. But I have not found the wings for the Micro Machines one yet, which kind of sucks. On the little rod here, there's not really too much details to speak of, really. It's just kind of basic. You can see in the inside of the Death Star, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then to close it, you just push it back in and then click the hatch shut again. At the top, there's just more of that little basic sculpting, and then there's a little dial here which you can turn on the inside. The final thing on the exterior of the Death Star then is this little kind of plastic rod that comes out of it, and it holds a ship here. You can see I've got the Millennium Falcon because this is the ship that comes with this particular playset. I'll have a little look at that in a minute. This is my biggest complaint with the playset because, you know, even though it's cool having a ship flying about over here, it makes a massive hole. You can see right into there to the Death Star, and it just, because they made everything else so compact and like so complete, like, you know, even there's a little hatch there, but you know, you can close up and then it's alright, it looks like the Death Star, but then over here, I don't even really know why they needed it. They could have just made like a little, they could have like attached it onto the side or something, but for some reason they've decided to make a big massive hole here. And it just looked really, really, really ugly, which is a shame because this would have been a pretty perfect display thing otherwise. Oh, you can see here it comes right out. It does actually move, but I don't really understand why you'd need it to move. And then, you know, having something like the Millennium Falcon being on here, I mean, it's cool and all, but when you think about it, the Millennium Falcon is nowhere near as big as this, you know, compared to the Death Star. It'd be like a tiny little speck. So, you know, maybe if it was like a Super Star Destroyer or something, and even then it would be a lot smaller. You know, it's just not to scale, and it's kind of a bit weird, really, but it's not going to be completely perfect, is it? As for the little Micro Machines Millennium Falcon ship here, this is really, really, really cool. For something so small, it is incredibly detailed. Like you can see here, just on the front, on the top part of it here, all the little sculpting details here, the little nubs and stuff, the little panels. I'll just bring that closer there, you can see it is really, really, really well sculpted. And then the paint is really good as well, like all the little orange bits here, you know, they kind of make the Falcon look as random as it is, you know, because obviously Han Solo modified it himself, so you just got parts of the ear, so it's not going to be perfect. And then, you know, the orange color scheme there, the little 5 great things here, I don't really know what they are, but they're painted really well, nice and cleanly. You can see there's the gun at the top there. It's just in the top, you can't really see it very well because it kind of blends into the sculpt, but it is there. And then along here there's the little doorway there where they come out of, and then the radar dish over here, you know, the original one that got knocked off by Lando and then turned into a rectangle one in the Force Awakens. All along the sides here you can see that kind of dark grey, kind of contrast with the lighter grey at the top here. All on the sides there's another little doorway here, and then the blue engine of the Millennium Falcon there is really, really nice. It stands out quite well. Not really too much on the camera here because of the light, but you know, in real life, trust me, this is a lot more blue than it looks. So it looks really, really good. And then on the bottom here, there's these 3 little peg leg things here you can use to stand it up, which is cool because otherwise, you know, it just kind of flop about. More detail on the bottom here, you know, there's the grey there, some more orange paint. Another really, really good sculpting details just all around. You know, it's really, really, really good. And then there's the little hole where it can plug into the little thing on the Death Star, and you know, all the other little pegs and stuff around it. And then lastly, you know, here's the cockpit on the side. Again, it's really, really well done. You know, the little tiny, tiny, tiny little black spaces are painted really, really well. You know, they bleed a little bit, but I mean, it's so tiny that you're going to expect it a little bit. You know, and it's only really on the top bit there. But it's really, really well done. You know, this Millennium Falcon itself is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, to get inside the Death Star, what you do, there's a little lever thing here, and you just pull that backwards, and then it opens the whole thing up here, and then you can see there is this little set. So I'll just quickly review all the little areas in this part of the Death Star. So obviously the sandy bit that consists of most of the interior of the Death Star playset here is supposed to be Tatooine. And this particular bit is Luke Skywalker's house. Well, you know what it used to be anyway. But we'll start off down here. You can see that this is a little moisture farm. These are the little moisture evaporators here, and there are some more stickers. Luckily I kind of got these two black ones on. These are supposed to be little doorways, but there's one here that I think is supposed to be like some kind of garage door or something that I kind of stuck on very, very wonkily because obviously I was quite young back then. Okay, so you can see here there's a little grey thing that comes out when you press that. I don't really know what the point of that is, but you know, it's something to do anyway. And then this is Luke's house, and this can be flipped open. So you can see here there's a little table with a sticker detail here, with all the food on the table with little cutlery and stuff, which is nice. And then along here at the back there's another sticker which is just kind of, you know, supposed to be for detail of the kitchen around them. And then there's 4 stools along here. You can only actually see 2, but trust me, there is actually 4. Made out of sand, and you know, this is a cool detail. It looks pretty nice. You can see here on the outside of the house there's quite a graphic detail, but it's cool nonetheless. There's this piece of sand, but then it can be flipped over like that, revealing the charred remains of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen from after the stormtroopers' assault on their house in A New Hope. This is quite a horrific thing to do in the playset, but it's cool anyway. It's a nice little detail. And then it can be flipped back over like that, revealing just the sand. You can see then on the next part of the Death Star there's more of those little tire tracks I was talking about. And then over here there's a little character with a gun that when you press this orange pillar thing here, he pops out like that, and you can push him back in again like that. At first I thought this was a Tusken Raider, but I don't think that anymore. He doesn't actually look like one, so if anybody has any ideas then let me know. In the middle part then you can see there's more sandy tire tracks going along here, and then some kind of orange scrap over here. And then staircase leading up to the cantina, which we'll get to in a minute. Another little moisture evaporator thing. And then over here is one of my favourite things about it. There's a little dewback that's against the wall here, which is really cool because I love these animals. You know, these are the things that the stormtroopers were riding when they went to Tatooine in A New Hope. And then you can see over here there's a picture of 2 stormtroopers actually coming out of a doorway, which is quite cool. It adds a little bit more detail to the playset. Moving on upstairs then, you can see there's another sticker there with some Jawas. Another little grate there with some more kind of, I don't know, grey pillarish things. And then another sticker with a stormtrooper standing outside a doorway with a Jawa. And then 2 stormtroopers and another Jawa. Which is cool, you know, even though these are stickers and I prefer printed things, they do really add a lot to the playset, and I think it's a really good idea to add these in. I'm glad they did. Finally then we have the cantina. You can see here there's a few seats, another table with the same kind of stickers that Luke's house has down at the bottom there, and then in the background there's some people sitting at the bar, another little enclosure bit here with Hammerhead and some other random alien thing. Up onto the top of the stairs and you can see there's the cantina band there playing, which is cool, and then some more seats and more stickers. The cantina part is really cool. I'm glad they added this in again. You know, it does look like the cantina, and I'm glad they've got all this little sticker details and things. It looks really cool. And finally then we have the actual Death Star bit of the Death Star. You can see here's a little ramp that comes up from this big slope that you can see down there at the bottom. I don't know really what this is for, maybe for like sliding stuff down or something, I don't know. And there's another sticker here that's kind of peeling off a little bit, which is why I don't like stickers, because over time this happens. And there you can see there's 2 stormtroopers standing. This is the little rod thing that the Millennium Falcon hangs onto from the outside. And then we'll have a little closer look to the actual floor bit in here. So there's some more stickers in here. There's one there of like a kind of grate or something, like maybe an entrance, like a hangar or something, I don't know. And then another one of those red floor lighting stickers. And then here's the little base rod that pops out the side of the Death Star. And then over here you can see there's some stormtroopers opening up blast door and shooting. There's some more sculpting on the floor, you know, nice and shiny to make it look like the Death Star. More stickers along the side here. And then if I move it over here, you can see the actual top bit of the Death Star. There's some little red kind of power core things, and then over here is Tatooine, the planet, and then some like sticker details, a few Star Destroyers, one of the moons, and then some TIE Fighters here. And then there's a little white plastic rod here for the micro machines, you know, where they've got the little holes in them, so you can plug them on like that, and then just twist them around like that. You know, they go full 360 around there. There's a few ports for them to go onto. Again, I don't really know what this is for, but you know, it's cool, I suppose. It makes it look like the TIE Fighters are chasing the ships around, which is cool. I forgot to mention the Death Star also comes with this little minifigure of 2 Jawas. There's one on the other side there, riding this kind of giraffe creature. This is, I think, one of the things that was added in the special edition. You know, there was like a scene where there was one of these things walking across the thing. You know, it looks out of place in the movies, but I think it actually looks really good in the Death Star, you know, the Tatooine bit. You know, paint's really good along this kind of saddle bit there, and the eyes. all on the reins there. You know, they actually seem to do really good painting on these figures, like on the Millennium Falcon, on the Death Star itself, and on this thing. They're really well painted, and this is quite a cool little accessory to have for the playset. Overall, guys, I think this is a really cool playset. The detail is really good, and the painting is phenomenal for something that came out in the 90s. All the little accessories are really good, like the sculpting on it is just amazing. The Millennium Falcon and this little animal accessory here, and you know, just the actual Death Star itself is really well done. The only thing I'd say about it is the stickers, you know, which are peeling off, and this little kind of side thing here, but that you can't really blame it for that because it's kind of hard to do anything about that. So I'm going to give this playset a 9.6 out of 10. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, then make sure to give the video a like, and remember, if you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Bye!